Welcome to Waking the Why, a podcast about uncovering the purpose behind life's crucible moments. Each episode, you'll hear from real people who turn their struggles into strength and their stories into light. If you're searching for meaning, walking through something hard, or just love stories that stir the soul, you're in the right place. Hello, friends. Welcome to Waking the Why, where we explore the purpose behind life's defining moments. My name is Stacy, and today our guest is Dalton Castor. So you guys, Dalton and I met each other about 20 years ago, actually across the street.
Right, when I started working at GSC, yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I have to tell you a story. Dalton, do you remember coming to my office one day? What you said was, Stacy, the new hire you just hired, he's tweaking, he's a drug addict. And I was like, first off, Dalton, I don't even know what tweaking means. And how do you know for sure?
So that comes from my childhood, not my childhood. I was raised great, you know. My mom and dad are great. I was fortunate to have a mom and dad. Not everybody is, but 15 years old I started getting into bad things, you know. I think it was more because I never really fit in life, you know, like I felt. And people could feel that way. I know a lot of people feel that way. Yeah. And so I started doing other things, not getting good grades, you know, and then summer school. I got sent to summer school and I got to experiment all sorts of stuff with all the other bad kids just like me.
In summer school.
You know, so they just put us all in a group. So we got to meet each other. Mm-hmm. It's like, is that very smart? You know, because we wouldn't go to summer school either. Right. We just started smoking weed, trying other things. I mean, we would do acid, mushrooms. Wow. So that's kind of how I eventually, eventually I cleaned up. I got in trouble. Honestly, I went through a super bad time, you know, with the drugs. It was super bad. Like the whole experience, I'm surprised I even made it through what I did back then, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
I went through drug court. It was honestly, that program saved me and the tools that I learned in that program through AA. I was about 19 to 20.
Okay.
Going through the program and hit a whole bunch of meetings. You know, I'd do the AA, the NA meetings. I did all my steps, got me a sponsor, did that. I had court once a week, and I was on UA's piss tests, so 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a week, you know, and it cost money. It all taught me a good lesson, and I had to do intensive outpatient therapy. And I had a counselor. His name was Casey Ben. I don't know, but that man was amazing. He honestly called me out. It's what I needed on all my bullcrap, you know, I'd try to feed him full of crap because it was I got off drugs, but I turned to alcohol. So I didn't realize that necessarily, you know, it was never looked at as a drug for me.
Alcohol?
You know, because I mean, I remember snowmobiling on the mountain, hunting, fishing, you know, everybody's always, you know, drinking, family parties. It was always around. It wasn't in my head that it was bad.
Right.
So I got off drugs, got through my program, barely, because I did start drinking, which they didn't like that either. I got caught in a bar. They put me back in jail. So I did like a total of like 30 days once, and then a couple other times, you know, because I was not listening.
Right.
But I made it through. And I had a couple daughters by then, like when I was 21, 22, around there. They're now 23, 24 almost. So, and they're so amazing. I'm proud of them for making it through everything they have, because I've put them through hell myself, honestly, and didn't even know I was doing it.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, walk us through that story. Tell us what took place and how you got here.
So I got a job, you know, I got out of the program, and I was just working, building my life, and like I was paying my child support, paying back child support, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, you know. And that's what happened was I when I turned to drinking, I didn't know I was going to have such a problem with it years down the road. So here I am, I'm raising my kids. I ended up getting my daughters when they were about 8, 9, 8, 9 years old. And I was raising them. So I'm thinking I'm doing great. I'm working, job, I'm excelling at my job. I become the lead, I was wax room injection lead, whatever. And I was smart. So, I was just a high functioning alcoholic is all it was, because I couldn't wait to get off work, go to the bar, have a few, then get home. Or then it turned into I'll just go home instead, and I'd have bottles at home, walk across the street, go to my neighbor's house. Life was good. Eventually I had a son, and a couple other daughters that they ended up going up for adoption. And I think that really, so let's say I'm 21, I'm drinking. I ended up giving 2 daughters up for adoption. It was just a bad situation. But I didn't look at, like, maybe it could have been the alcohol too,
Right. Yeah, you
I was right. Yeah, and so it all happened, and I was still working, still trying to do better for my 2 that I was raising, my 2 daughters, and then I ended up, having a son. But I think I drank a little more trying to push away the pain of not having my daughters, I wanted to act like everything was okay. I had to, I didn't really, I wanted them to be okay. That was all that I was worried about. Right. And I knew they weren't going to be in the best situation the way I was. Somehow I'm still making life decisions here, and it's just it. I have my son. I ended up buying a house, so life was just going great. That's it. That's how it was going. My kids were doing good, I thought. At least I'm thinking everything's great. And then,
so what was the turning point? What happened?
It would be just the comfort zone. You got home, you had your beers, you talk to your buddies, you go across the street or whatever, you had a couple to hang out with, or you found a bar that you really liked, and it was just, you thought you were having a good time because you're laughing, you're smiling, you're making fun of people, whatever you're doing, Right. It's just, and the turning point, like my son's mom, because I did have the son, and he is now going to be 14 here in a couple August, so yeah, I'm proud of him too. He's making it through some hard times. I put him through it too. So she left a few times, and it still wouldn't get to my head. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll quit drinking. You'd find me putting it in a Coke can, and I'm just having a Coke, after work. Yeah, it's full of whiskey. And she left a few times, and that was the turning point. It's when she did leave and took my son, and then it was like I didn't have any more, I don't know, that responsibility, I felt like, because she ended up moving to Nevada. So then all of a sudden I'm missing 3 of my kids.
Right.
My son, and nobody really wants to talk to me by about that time, because that's all I cared about was drinking. Anything I did, if I went, for any family functions, anything, I had to be hammered, it was just sad. I could make it through 8 hours of work, but that's it, the rest of it. And then I ended up coming up on 2020, COVID. I ended up getting laid off. Mm-hmm. Like, we were all essential for so long, and then April, all of a sudden I wasn't. And I wasn't essential. I wasn't even working in my area. Like, I'm surprised I didn't get fired, Mm-hmm. Honestly, they did me a favor and laid me off. COVID came along, laid me off. So pretty much all I had to do was sit there and drink, and I was getting paid for it now. Making more than I was making while I was working.
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. But
yeah,
it's what it would. It would be half Sprites, half vodkas, and just sit there, and I could tell something was going on eventually, you know, and by now I'm 35, 36 years old, 37. And all of a sudden, like, I'm going to go golfing one day. I'm 38 years old. It's June 24th. It's actually, I think, the 23rd, because my sobriety date is the 24th. So I gave myself 24 hours of not drinking. I guess being stuck in a hospital counts.
Right.
But having hallucinations, it was great.
I can't imagine.
That was terrifying. So, but what I did, well, I had my son and my buddy Cody comes over, and we were going to go golfing, you know, so I'm acting like everything's fine, because why not? And I went to my neighbor's house to make me a drink, because I had to get one of them, and I went down into their basement instead after I got a drink, because I was like, I can't even drink it anymore, you know, like something's wrong. Pretty much going down there, lay down there and die is what I was doing, because I was shutting down. I didn't know that I was in liver failure. I didn't know that my gallbladder had got infected and blocked, and liver failure, and then kidney failure had come. And
right.
I just, you know, I thought maybe, so kids come, and like the neighbors finally come downstairs because they knew something was up. And they called my kids, and then my buddy comes down, and they finally get me to get up, and I went to the hospital. My buddy Cody, I got in his truck, and I remember telling him, like, you can't speed because we won't get there no faster. We'll get pulled over, and that's like the last thing I remember, you know? He's like, buddy, no, I do remember. He said, buddy, trust me, I ain't stopping. And when we get there and I open this door, they're going to help me get you in there. Right. He's like, you're that bad. And I was like, and that's all I could remember, really. And then I hit the hospital, and
It's amazing to have a friend like Cody.
Yeah, yes, it is. Like,
have those people in our lives that really make a difference.
Yes, he got me there. I don't remember. I see video. Like, I do have video of my withdrawal, and it's pretty crazy to watch. Like, I can't speak English at all. I can't speak. I'm mumbling all sorts of stuff. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Ended up getting jaundice. So I was at the McKD for a week, and then they sent me home. Like, because they was going to shut down for COVID. They was like, well, you're here 2 more weeks, or you can go home and we'll send a nurse, whatever, you know. And then no nurse showed up.
Oh, wow.
But here I am. And by the 3rd week, my dad was like, he's still dying. Like, we got to get him back. So they did. They took me back. And that's when they took me to Murray in ambulance. And that's where the fight of my life really began. You know, I don't know how I'm here still. Yeah. It still doesn't comprehend, because I feel like they sent me home to die the first time. You know, like they knew that, because I read reports. That say you have a 0% chance of making it 3 months without a liver transplant. Yet I don't have a transplant, you know, yet. Yeah. Hopefully I never need one, but you know, because things could turn.
Yeah.
So it was all just, it was the thinking that drinking was okay.
So when did it shift for you that it wasn't okay, and that you were going to have to make a change if you wanted to live?
Oh, in them hospital rooms, like I had detox for a while, but I mean, it's super humbling when, I mean, honestly, you can't control your valves in the hospital. You know, it's all over, and it's just, you can't, and you don't know what to do. And then once you finally get home, like I had a drain out of my gallbladder, draining bile for about 5 months. And I got home because they finally let me out like 3 weeks later, or almost a month. But I lost weight. I got down, I was 220 when I went in. I swole up like a balloon too before all that. My feet, everything, because I retained all the water, nothing was moving. And then I got down to like 130 pounds, I think was I clocked. 6'1",
Wow.
you know, which
Yeah.
almost
those
like,
videos
yeah,
on
yeah,
social
you
media,
have.
and
And
it's amazing.
it's pretty horrifying. Like, it's
Right?
just,
This
wow.
is amazing.
Yeah,
What we
now,
see today, right?
it's a little different.
Right. It is, and that's what's so miraculous, I think, about life's experiences, right? Sometimes we make choices that lead us to a certain consequence, and other times we are afflicted in life by something not of our choosing. But there comes a time where we end up having the power to choose of what we're going to do going forward, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying you're in the hospital and it's like,
I missed my kids. I was missing everything. And it was COVID. I didn't get visitors. So that was it. It was straight from to nothing. You're just in a hospital and you're thinking about everything that you don't know what's going on at all. But and you're going crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's playing tricks on your brain. I mean, they're drawing blood. They drew so much blood, they had to put blood back in me to start drawing it again, you know, kind of deal. And I would, even after I got home, I would turn on a shower. I did whatever I had to. I wanted to live. That was my choice. I couldn't not let my kids live without me for, you know, they're too young.
So would it be fair to say then that your wife for living is at least partially your kids?
Oh, definitely. That's more, it's a lot of it. Like, I know people tell you shouldn't live for just your kids. Well, you know, I'm getting better. You know, I'm learning how to love myself again still. It's hard because you do a lot of damage. I think
there's something to say, though, of like, when we say living for our kids, I agree that we need to have like purpose beyond that. But I can imagine when in your life, when you lived a time without them, you saw the difference. And so you want to show up in a different way, right? That showing up in a different way is leading you to become something different, which is impacting not only you and your children, but other people too.
Yeah.
So you've been very vocal on social media about your journey and sharing it with others. Tell us a little bit about that and why you do it.
I just want to be loud because I was quiet for so long. You know, I was embarrassed to say that I had a problem, you know, after even, you know, you're just hiding it, and you're going to hide it until you find out that you're ready, you know. It's dark. You don't want to go there. I was yellow, jaundice. And there was a point in time where I honestly didn't think I would make it. I was laying on my bathroom floor, turned the shower on, and I'd just fall asleep there because that would keep my brain busy enough just hearing the water, I guess. You know, like there's times of loneliness, like all your friends disappear most of them, you know. You got the select few that'll always be there. But most of the people you thought were friends, like they were trying to buy my house while I'm in the hospital. Oh, well, I'll rent it back to him, you know. Yeah. And I ended up I sold that, and I made dumb choices even after I got sober, you know, and sold my house, lost everything pretty much. But I see a reason to why is I probably should have lost it all in the first place.
Yeah.
Somehow I kept it through the hospital because the bills don't care, you know. They still want to be paid. They don't care that you're in a hospital bed.
Well, we were talking before we started of like, life isn't about just one event or one moment. We are made up of all of these experiences, right?
Right.
And they make us who we are. And it's important to acknowledge that. We do have control of some things, but we don't have control of everything. And I think part of loving ourselves and learning to love ourselves is giving ourselves some grace and just realizing that, maybe that was a dumb choice or whatever, but it's taught me something and it's helped me become who I am today. Yeah.
And that is that same deal on Facebook. Why I do it out loud is to try to help other people. The best feeling in the world is when somebody reaches out to you saying, hey, you're what you're doing has helped me. Like, I am now a year sober, or I am now a year and a half. And I said, don't blame me. You know, you're doing it. But I love that for you. And I try to tell people that. Like, I've lost friends supporting other friends, you know, to be sober, because I know they're trying, and it's.
Yeah. There's something powerful about community in that way, right?
There is.
So you guys, I don't know if you caught it a little bit earlier, but Dalton mentioned that his sobriety date is June 24th. So we're literally only a few days away right now from June 24th, where he will hit 5 years.
I'm going to be 5.
Like, how do you feel when you even think about, like, 5 years? And what would you say you've gained in these 5 years from what you've experienced?
It's amazing to, like, just look at the whole. I would go to 6 years and say the change from even jobs and my whole culture and my focus on life. Like, I've seen the darkness, and I don't ever want to go there again. You know, like, the change, you just got to be daily. You just got to go day to day, and you got to accept a lot about yourself that you didn't want to, maybe, you know, like, you do have to change. The change comes in you, you know, like, life, I'm not going to say that life gets better, but you do.
I love
you know
that.
So
it's so true.
That's the only part of it, because life's going to keep kicking you sometimes, and you're just going to have to be able to be in an emotional state to make it through. You know, this is a lot of stuff that I did learn about myself, and I've seen the effect it had on my kids, like, at least from what I can understand.
Right.
You know, they don't let it out, but I've watched my son grow now and get his confidence back and start you know.
Are you open and honest about that time frame with your children? Like, do you talk openly about it?
Oh yeah, I'm open as I can be. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my older daughters, they're over 21. They might go have a drink sometimes, but they can. Like, I can't have a drink. You know, I want more.
Yeah.
It's not just one. You know, like, I'll drink and drink and drink.
Well, I think that's the thing about addiction, that it's not, an individual that is an addict tends to not just be addicted to one substance. It's the addictive behavior.
Yeah, it's all about a feeling.
Right, it's a feeling. So whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, food, like, there's so many different things that you can be addicted to. And so I think that acknowledgement of, hey, I can't do that.
Yeah, you have to be able to acknowledge that.
I want more and more and more in that addictive behavior.
Yeah, and then where it goes with, like, alcohol and drugs is it takes more and more and more to get that same feeling. Right. So you're gonna end up at a very bad, you know, spot, because you're doing more and more and more. And like, really, I was about dead at 38 years old. Yeah, I mean, that's sad. I know, me too.
So glad you're not.
Me too.
So before we close, one last question for you. When you think about others that might be going through what you've gone through, or maybe not alcohol, but some other, like, really hard life trial or addiction, what would you say to them? They're right in the middle and the thick of it, and they just aren't sure they're going to make it. What would you say?
That you can make it, you can do it, and you deserve it. Like, we deserve to get through it. Like, I don't even know how to explain. I don't know how to explain it. I just know that you can, you know, and you deserve it. That is it. Like, you deserve it, and you can. Like, give it a try. Have you not? Like, for me, I had to look back all the way to, whoa, you were 15 and you pretty much did the same thing for up till you were 38, bro. Like, you didn't do anything different. You were just hiding feelings, and you don't need to do that. Life, you get better. Like, you understand things. You get to be yourself. You learn yourself again. You're worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I'm so happy we met 20 years ago.
I know, 20 years ago.
Right across the street.
Right,
yeah. It's so fun to be back here in this area with you. My friends, just know there's always hope. If you find yourself struggling I like to call it a pit of despair moments, regardless of the reason for that, don't give hope. Don't give up hope. As Dalton says, you're worth it. You deserve it. So keep on going. Thank you for joining me on Waking the Why. If today's story moved you, share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget, your why is worth waking up for.